Well, Scripture has a lot to say about the idea of humanity and sheep. And Jesus is not exempt from this, even in his own declarations that he makes. And so listen to some of the words that Jesus shares as an excerpt of this passage here in John. He says, "Very truly I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate but climbs in by some other way is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice." Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees did not understand what he was telling them. Therefore, Jesus said again, "Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." I mean, what encouraging words Jesus has for those of us who follow him. This idea that he is sort of the embodiment of the one who protects us, the one who leads us, the one who guides us, the one who provides for us. I mean, as the Good Shepherd, Jesus is certainly all of those things. But then even these words, when he says, "I am the one who lays down my life for the sheep, that they may be saved." What a source of encouragement for us, and especially in these times when finding places of encouragement maybe not even be that easy to find. I mean, think about what this means for us, that if we would follow the voice of Christ, that we would have life and life to the full. Really what Jesus is doing is he's comparing this idea of a thief to this idea of the shepherd. Right, where the shepherd wants to lead the sheep to safety and would even lay down his life for the sheep. And Jesus says he is that shepherd. But then there's this other entity, the thief. And that the thief really endeavors to steal, kill, and destroy. He sneaks in from the side unawares. He kind of gets in there and the danger is that he would steal the sheep away from the shepherd. What really gets hard for us in times like this is what Jesus is saying is that the sheep hear his voice, right? And so my question is do you hear the voice of Jesus? I mean, in times like these, it can be really hard. I mean, there's a lot of voices right now. There's a lot of, think about everything that's going on from what you see on the news to what you hear at work and on the radio, and there's a lot of voices, and some of them are really loud, that instruct us in a lot of different ways. Like, how is it even possible for us to hear the voice of Christ, the voice of our shepherd who wants to lead us in this way? Well, I thought about times when we were in large crowds and there were a lot of voices and my son calls out. And instantly my ears are trained to pick up his voice. And many of you who have children may have had several experiences where out of the multitude of voices, that one grabs your attention because you know that voice. And the reason you know that voice is because you spend time with your child. You spend time with your kid. You spend time with the one who calls out. And so for me, to be able to hear clearly the voice of the Good Shepherd in a noisy world right now, what that means for us is we have to spend time with him. All right, even this morning when it was time for me to open my Bible and to have time with Jesus and pray, there was all of these thoughts creeping in about what I have to do today and what I heard on the news this morning and what's going on out there that served as distractions for me. And I had to intentionally set aside those distractions to spend time in the Word. Right, but for us to be able to hear the voice of the Good Shepherd, we have to spend time with Jesus, get to know Jesus, understand Jesus, read Jesus in Scripture, and know who it is we're looking for, and know who it is that we want to hear. And when we're able to do that, the voice of that Good Shepherd can lead us into life and life in fullness.